For the past 2 weeks, I've deep dived into every book, watched every podcast, and every video on the one, the only, David Goggins. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 life-changing takeaways that you can implement to transform yourself from someone who's half-assing everything to someone who's committed and disciplined. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I will share with you a crucial tip that helped transform my life and the lives of many others. But for you to truly understand these tips, we must first understand how Goggins went from this to the baddest man on the planet. From a very young age, Goggins grew up in poverty. He lived under the constant shadow of a violent father whose physical and emotional abuse left deep, lasting scars. Growing up, Goggins not only had to deal with a difficult home life, but also constant bouts of racism. Being one of the few black kids in his mostly white community meant he often faced hurtful slurs and unequal treatment. For someone like David Goggins, toxic stress wasn't just a fleeting moment, it was a constant backdrop in his early life. But all of this did not stop him. He used every list of excuses, every traumatic event, every reason as to why he shouldn't amount to a damn thing as fuel for his metamorphosis. Despite the poverty, discrimination, and physical abuse which haunted his nights, David Goggins went on to endure not 1, not 2, but 3 hell weeks during his Naval SEAL training. Today, he's known not only as a top public speaker, but also as a record-breaking athlete whose relentless mindset inspires millions. But now you might be wondering, how can I become like Goggins? Well, the first step is to take personal accountability. In order to become like Goggins, you must first stop seeing yourself as the victim of bad circumstance, but rather see life as the ultimate training ground. Instead of wasting energy feeling sorry for yourself, instead take a look at your weaknesses and see if you can turn them into strengths. You must remember, no one is perfect, and even the most powerful people sometimes look like absolute clowns. And I completely understand what might be going through your head right now. I can't succeed. I'm too dumb to succeed. There's no way it can be me. And that's just to name a few. And you know how I know what's going through your head right now? It's because I've been there before. I've wrestled with these exact thoughts and doubts for days and nights on end. And the only way I was able to get out of this mess was, first of all, taking personal accountability and also seeing every obstacle as a way to redefine myself. I realized that everyone is dealt with bad cards in their life. Some just hide it better than others. It doesn't necessarily mean they're better than you. It just means you need to shift your perspective on your problems. You have to start taking personal accountability and start stepping outside your comfort zone, because that's where true transformation lies. But personal accountability is only one key to the puzzle. The next step to achieving Goggins' mentality is the concept of trained humility. And what is trained humility, you may ask? Well, I think it's better explained through something that true alpha males love. And in particular, Saitama from One Punch Man. His training routine is famously simple. And yet, despite the enormous power he has gained from such a simple routine, he often chooses to stay out of the public spotlight and not take credit for his work, a true testament to his humility. Then there's Keanu Reeves. Despite being one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars, you've probably seen videos of him giving up his seat for an elderly woman, or perhaps you've seen the video of him carrying equipment for his film crew. And that's what trained humility is all about. It's about staying grounded while you grow and realizing that no matter how successful or rich you become, you're able to put yourself in the position of others and help them with their problems. But Goggins, he takes it one step further. Instead of relaxing after reaching incredible feats, he introduced the 40% rule to remind himself that there's always room for improvement. And that's something you can immediately apply into your own life, whether that be in the gym where you could have given a few more reps, or perhaps you just accepted an entry-level job where you know you're meant for more. But that's where trained humility comes into play. You need to realize that there are people out there facing far worse tragedies than your own. They're out there dying in war zones, facing starvation and diseases, and they would do anything to be in your position right now. And once you arrive at that realization, you really begin to appreciate the little things in life and push even harder. So we've seen how crucial humility is, but there's still one more mindset trap that almost everyone falls into. Let me ask you a question that almost 99% of people get wrong. Do you need purpose to perform? I mean, it seems simple enough, right? Like, we find our purpose and then we take action based on it. But what if I told you you don't need some earth-shattering realization to start performing your best? Goggins also realized this. He realized that waiting for some monumental purpose can paralyze you, but instead taking small, consistent actions can create meaning over time. Purpose isn't some hidden treasure waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. It's forged every time you push through the pain, every extra rep you give in the gym, and every time you show up even when you don't feel like it. Think of the legends you look up to. You think this so-called purpose just fell out of the sky and just dropped into their lap? No, of course not. It was built day after day, week after week, and year after year. It was built through daily discipline and hard work, and only by confronting their fears did their confidence grow exponentially. Every time you push through the pain, every time you commit to those small, meaningful actions, you're not just carving out your purpose, you're reinforcing a mindset that David Goggins refers to as the Roger That mentality. When life throws a challenge your way, David Goggins doesn't wallow or make excuses. He just says Roger That and tackles the challenge head head on. Like even now, I genuinely don't feel like recording, but I know that this is one step closer towards who I want to be in the future. By adopting this mentality, it means you stop overthinking and start executing. It's a call to immediate action, even if that means running on broken legs in the case of Goggins. And guys, just to be clear, that's not me saying you should run on broken legs. So now we've learned how to build purpose, but there's still one key ingredient missing in his mindset, and that's the power of belief. Let me tell you a story about a study which was conducted on rats in a jar. In the 1950s, a scientist by the name of Dr. Kurt placed rats in cylindrical jars filled with water. The first rat paddled on the surface and then swam to the bottom to look for an escape hatch. And upon finding nothing, it died within 2 minutes. And many other rats followed the same pattern. And this was really surprising to the scientist, as rats are usually really good swimmers. So the scientist decided to tweak the test. Just before the rats were about to give up, he and his team scooped up the rats, dried them off, and held them for long enough for the rats to register on a physiological scale that they had been saved. Then they were placed back into the jars. But this time, something surprising happened. This time, the rats didn't die within 2 minutes. Instead, the rats swam for an average of 60 hours without any food or rest. Kurt had touched something in the rats that was damn near unbreakable: the power of belief. And I really connected to the story on a personal level because I can relate back to a time in my life when almost everyone around me, my teachers, parents, friends, were telling me to believe in myself as if life is some fairy tale and everything happens by magic. But the reality is, if you just sit around and say affirmations in the mirror all day, you're not really going to achieve your dream. You're just going to end up with a bucket load of regret. In order to succeed, you need to have the type of belief that is forged out of resilience. The belief which is derived from sheer hard work and where you're always looking for the next mission, no matter how successful or rich you become. Goggins refers to this as the 24/7 mission mentality, and this mindset has also changed my life for the better. It's where you're at constant war with your mind and emotions. When your brain tells you to do one thing, you take control and do the task you're supposed to do. Each time you defeat those temptations, you're building real belief and character, which can help you going forward. So now you know what type of belief you need to have, but there's still one more crucial takeaway that will transform your life. And that is about personal identity. And you might go,
oh, here he goes again, just spitting out the same advice that everyone else gives.
But from my research on David Goggins' mentality and how his mind works, I realized that there's one central key underpinning all his success. And it's his alter ego, Goggins. Just to be clear, we're not talking about David Goggins, we're talking about Goggins. Goggins is an animal. He's a relentless beast that sees everything in life as an opportunity to adapt, learn, and evolve. He takes no days off and there's no downtime. Instead of taking regular breaks like normal people, he's decided to use the time showering or eating lunch as opportunities to reset his mind and move forward. Now, what I'm not saying is you should try to imitate Goggins' schedule, because if I'm being completely honest, neither me nor you have developed the willpower or discipline necessary to follow his schedule. Instead, we should start doing small things consistently and start building momentum, because that's what creates the snowball effect. And once the snowball effect kicks into play, everything becomes so much more smoother and easier. It's important to realize that mental resilience and toughness fade if they're not used consistently. It's like grabbing iron with your bare hands. You will eventually lose your calluses. So what separates a true savage from everybody else is the ability to regain composure in the split second you feel like giving into those temptations. Remember, self-respect is earned every day by waking up early and doing the things you're supposed to do like you have nothing and have never done anything in your entire life.